Okay, looks like we might be live. welcome, welcome everyone. Let me see who is here. Hello, Susan and Debbie and Monica and Connie and Bobby and Carrie. Welcome everyone to You Got It. It's time for my craft room tour. So finally, I can say it's ready. I have some videos to share with you today. And today I'm going to do my craft room tour a little bit different than just a regular straight up, filming and talk over. And I am going to let you guys have some Q&A time with me. So I have all of these different modules lined up to share with you today. So I'll do a little talking, of course, and share with you all the different parts of my room. But if you have the Q&A, be sure to put a little Q in front of your a question so I can answer. And I will do my best to try to kind of clarify anything that you may want clarified. So I am so excited. You guys are all here today. Margot and let's see who else. Betty's here. Linda's here. Sherry's here. Victoria, so good to see all of you guys. Linda, wonderful seeing all of your names. And welcome. So let's start off with a room overview. And I have been working on my craft room for quite a while. And, one of the first things I want to say right up front is that rooms need to change as you change and as your crafting style changes. And, there's really no better thing I can say than that. And be flexible, be able to think, oh gosh, I found this new organizer. Now I need to go organize this section, and just enjoy the process, because you'll see there's even parts of my room, I got it almost there, but there's parts of my room that are not quite as much as I would like them done. But for the most part, now it feels so good to have everything organized and, and tidied up. Definitely tidied up from last week. So let's get started first with an overview video. So this is about a 2-minute video, and I'm not going to talk during it, but this is going to give you kind of an overview of my entire space. And for those of you who've been with me since the beginning, you'll know that my room is just a rectangle. There's no closets and there's lots of windows that I had to work around. So I had to kind of be creative on how I found storage space. And I'll be talking about that in the different sections of the tour. But just keep that in mind when you see my space. There's no closet that I can shove everything in and hide it all. It's just all out there. So most of my room is built with Michael's cubes, the old Recollections cubes, the new Simply Tidy cubes, and IKEA Kallax units, and some IKEA furniture. So it's pretty straightforward, and I'll get more into that, but let's take a look at the overview to get started. All right, so there you have it. Okay, so that's the big overview, and hopefully you got a sense of what all this space is like. And one of the things that has worked for me really well, and I know I've heard from you guys too that it's worked for you, is to have zones and kind of the things in different areas in your room that work really well for you, right? So, where I am right now, this is kind of my creative space, and where I do most of my scrapbooking. So, I have all of my scrapbooking, everything have to have right next to me, right here in this zone. So, I've got my paper, my tools, all the different things in this zone. And then I have on the wall behind me, there's some punches and tools over there, extra storage. Across from me, I have my two stations. So I have a die cutting station and I have a card and stamping station. And then I have some other Kallax units that have the storage where I keep other things and some more recollections cubes, as well as, of course, some carts. So I'm going to take you through each of these different zones next. And then be sure, if you have questions, go ahead, use that little cue. And I see Claudia's already got one. And you know, just do that. And I will keep trying to check the chat as we go through. Now, I'm pretty sure I've unmuted myself for all these videos, so I'm going to kind of talk over them as we're going. I may need to pause, but if you want me to rewind, I can do that and so forth. So, Claudia, my room primarily is for me. I do have other people who come in here occasionally. My daughter, my son, who's going to architecture school, sometimes he needs a big table, and when it's cleaned off, this island works really well for that. So, yeah, but mainly this is for me. I know. I do feel lucky to have this space. I used to be in a basement, for those of you who've been following me for a while, and I had a flood down there, which was tremendously heartbreaking. I lost a lot of stuff, a lot of damage. I'm still recuperating from that. But this was supposed to be like a little living area in our guest house. And I pulled my mom card, as I like to say, and said, you know what? I need to get out of the basement into this room so that I can continue working and filming and bringing you guys content, which I love to do. So, yeah, that's it. Okay, so let's start off. Thank you guys. You're so sweet for all of this. Yeah. And Amy's back. Welcome, welcome. Ah, gosh. Yes, I know. Sometimes you know, scrapping and crafting is all cyclical, right? We can do it when we get here. And um, so, you know, I know life happens and we have to always make sure that family comes first. So, welcome to everyone. All right, let's start by going, first of all, under my workspace. So, as I mentioned, this is kind of my primary zone where I'm sitting, where you see me with all my goodies behind me. But there's a lot of hidden stuff underneath my workspace because my island is built on uh, Simply Tidy cubes from Michaels. And those come in they come in cubes like you see this behind me, but they also come in towers. And so I have kind of a combination, but everything is built on a 16 by 16 cube. So when I kind of figured that out, I thought, oh gosh, I can create an island. So this is like a counter height island. It's not, so I do have a higher desk chair, a counter height desk chair. And I always have to have a footstool. So you're going to see my footstool under there because I have short legs, guys. I always have to have a stool under there because I do sit up high when I work. Okay, so let's take a look at my workshop under my workspace. Okay, this is the next video that I have for you. Am I no sound? Okay. Am I no sound right now? How about now? Okay, let's see. So no sound? Okay. Am I okay? I need a little feedback. It's stopping a lot and I'm talking. We cannot hear if you are talking. Okay. Let me start over again. Okay, so let me just a quick little recap. So hopefully you guys can hear this. So underneath I'm back. Okay, good. So underneath where I sit is that's usually where my feet are, is on that stool, and then to the right of me is my cart and to the left is Clementine. But I also have these towers. So those towers are um, where my tabletop sits, and the island is on top of that. So those kind of help support the countertop that I chose for my craft room. Okay, good. Sound is on now. All right, super. I'll see if I can get a little closer. Maybe that'll help. Okay, so let me keep playing the video. Underneath where I sit, there were, again, my island, it's kind of an H shape to my island. So there's a whole center row that's just the Simply Tidy cubbies that I decided that was going to be the perfect place for storing all of my extra photographs. So under here is kind of my photo archive, which is perfect because I don't have to crawl under my desk and get to those very often. And there's Clementine. She always loves to get her picture in there. And so the photos, those are some of the large Creative Memories photo boxes. Those actually fit. If you can kind of see the arrangement, I'm going to go back a little bit. Those fit perfectly in these cubbies. So when I found that out, I was so thrilled. And you can see I've got just my huge archive of all of those boxes under there. So they're kind of tucked away in a nice, cool place. And isn't that a cutie right there? So yeah, so that's where I keep all my photos, and it's out of the way. Next to that, I have, you'll see this cart, and I'll be showing how that pulls out later in just a few minutes. But this is a movable cart, this one right here that I have my tools on. And then next to that cart is another set of Simply Tidy cubes that forms the end of my island. Okay, so let me go back for a second. So that one right there is the end of my island. So you always have to have those, corner supports, and that's what I have there. So in the cubby that moves, let me show you kind of, this is what is right next to me while I scrap. So, I've got to have my border maker, my trimmer, my silicone mats, my cutting mats, all of those tools, my rulers, my border maker system. Did I say that? So all of those things are kind of right within reach, right next to me. And then as we go down, you'll just see all of those. The nice thing about the Simply Tidy cubes, a lot of their shelves you can see can just pull out. And you can mix and match what kind of cubes you want, because again, most everything is 16 by 16. So you got a sneak peek too on the left-hand side. I'll go back for a second. I have an open cube down on the side. You can see right here that I keep my Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and Baby Bear sleeves in, as well as some 12 by 12 multi-pocket and the fill and file sleeves. So those are, again, within reach, all within in my workspace. And the cart right here that I'm showing, it looks like a cart, but it's actually one of the Simply Tidy cubes from Michael's. It's two of those cubes, and then I put them on wheels. Okay, so if you're wondering what this card is right here, that is actually, let me go back for a second. That cart right there, it looks like a cart, but it is one of the cubes with all the dividers in it on top of a box, and and then I put those on wheels. So let me go back here. You can kind of get a better picture of it right there. Okay, so you can see how it's a cube, and then I have the half cube on the bottom, and then I put those on wheels. So it works out perfectly, because if you can see, then it has all those drawers. This is again the mama bear and baby bear and papa bear, but these Creative Memories 5x7 boxes fit on top. 4 of them will fit on top perfectly, and I love that. So I keep my scrap box right on top, again, all within reach. And then right next to it are my layering shapes, which, you know, I reach for those quite often as well. So, and then in the boxes behind that are some journaling boxes and my other colored layering shapes. So everything is just right there next to where I sit. And that just keeps everything that I feel like I reach for over and over right next to me, which is where it needs to be, right? So, okay. And that is, unfortunately, no, Joan, that is not the new trimmer yet. It's still on its way. It's coming. So yeah. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So sorry about the sound. I thought I clicked all those buttons, but, I must have missed one. So Joni was asking what the square footage of my room is. And I want to say, and I meant to look this up beforehand. I believe it's a 10 by 14, 10 foot by 14. It's not huge. So I can get the actual numbers and make sure to get that in the comment section. Okay. Let me make sure I have any other questions accounted for so far. Okay. Good. And hello to everybody who is just hopping on and joining in the fun. So the next tour I want to give you is my paper wall and the drawers that are underneath that paper wall. So if you can see kind of behind the, and this is the wall that's behind me, all those cubbies, and actually let me kind of come back here for a second. All those cubbies, these are all individual squares that I put together. And the ones on the top are divided and they have the angle. So that's where all my paper is. And then I have a row of just straight cubes. These are the ones, they come with a shelf, but I just took the shelf out. In fact, I'm reusing the shelf on some of these that I have my spinners in, because the spinners are made for Kallax units, which are 14 by 14, and these cubes are 16 by 16. So I had a little space, so I actually keep more plastic folders right under here. My streaming. Okay, I think I just lost Facebook. Okay. So sorry, you guys on Facebook. I guess you guys, there was a streaming error, so we're going to have to just continue it on YouTube. So hold on, hang on there. I don't know what the error was. I know my streaming software has been having some issues with Facebook. And if you've noticed, my posts are looking a little quirky. So hopefully you can find me on YouTube. Okay, so sorry about that. But we are moving along. Okay. And yes, Jean, there are some Longaberger baskets in my room, and I'll share more. One of my actual favorite ones. Yeah. Okay. And where did I get my rolling cart? Melinda, I'll share. So the one that I pulled out that's next to me that has all my tools in it, that's from Michael's, and I just put wheels on it. But my rolling cart is just the one from Michael's also. and it's the smaller of the carts. And you'll get a little tour of that too. Okay. So yeah. So Melissa, oh, you're so sweet to ask. If you want to order Creative Memories product, you can just use my link. So you can make sure you see my picture, my face when you order, and use my name. My link should be on wherever you are in the description from the video. And also, yeah, sorry, Karen, my video ended on Facebook. I'm glad you came over. All right. So that's live streaming for you. There's always some fun. All right. Okay. And then, oh, I just want to mention, Melissa, I also have a website for retired products and exclusives. And so you can find that link in the description as well. All right. So we are going to go back over to the paper wall. Oh, what I wanted to mention, let's see, you can kind of see it right over there. So my cubes sit on top of a set of drawers that also come from Michael's. So I have two of the long drawers that you can see right there. Those are two of the long drawers, and those are on each end. And then I have three of the narrow drawers. So there's a total of 5 drawers underneath all these cubbies, and then 3 rows of cubbies. So let me take you through my paper wall. This is a little longer because I'll go through kind of how I have things organized. And then I'll also take you through the drawers, what I have underneath all my drawers. Okay, so let's take a look at the paper wall and drawers. Unmute myself. There we go. So we're going to start off just on the top row, which is where I have all my cardstock. And I have a lot of paper organization videos on how I organize my paper, but the whole top row of cubbies are all my colors and different textures and ruled paper and all those good things. So that is all the top row, and those are all organized in baby bear sleeves for the most part, and Papa Bear sleeves, which are Power Project folders for like my bigger collections of colors. And then I use the small sleeves for, let me go back, the small sleeves for just organizing all my cardstock by color. Okay, and I have a lot. Yeah, I agree. I kind of have a lot of cardstock, and they just came out with another cardstock buffet. I'm like, oh dear, I got to start using more of it up. Okay, so that's the top row, and then here you can see at the end is where I put all of those little, you know, like craft and denim and vellum textures, kind of all those different. And my ruled and grid and all that good stuff is at the end in the end section for my cardstock. Next, underneath that, where I sit, you see I have my 3 spinners. 2 of them are full of Border Maker cartridges, and to me that is the best. Let me go back for a second. The best use of space for Border Maker cartridges. They are heavy. All those little guys are heavy, and these spinners hold a ton of Border Maker cartridges. So I'm so excited to have both of those. And I have some of the old BMCs from Creative Memories and from OMFL. Everything just fits in there perfectly, as you can see. Okay, next to that, I do have 1 punch spinner after you see the Border Maker cartridges. And this is where I keep some of my most used punches. This is not a super efficient use of space for punches, but I do love that they are just right next to me and easy to reach. So like my square punch, my circle punch, all of those, the tab punch and tag punch, those are all right there. So I love that. Okay, is my island top fixed to the cubes underneath? Yeah, so right now, Jamie, my island just sits on top. I have so much on top of it, it does not move. And my cubes that are on wheels. Everything is on wheels just to give me that extra 2 inches of space to sit. And so everything, it has been going for a year and a half now. I believe I've been in here, and there's been no issues at all. And if I do need to kind of move one of those to get under there and vacuum and that sort of thing, yeah, my island just, my worktop just sits right on top. So yeah, great questions. Okay. So here we go. Underneath the cardstock are all of my collections. And like I said, I do a lot of videos about paper. So I have all of these by theme and by category. So you can see here's my Christmas section. I'll go back just a second and talk about that again. So I have spring, summer, fall, and winter all on these cubbies. And then each season has the associated holidays that go with it. And to me, that's just how my mind works. I like, if I'm in winter, I want to go and see Christmas in winter. Above the cardstock, I have a collection, my washi tape collection, which is just quite large. Yes, once again. And then I also have some other cubes from Michael's, those long cubes, which is where I keep some watercolor supplies and some art paper and different things up there. Okay, so what I want to do is just take a second here, and I think I missed a section underneath. I forgot to put that little clip in, but you can see the black notebooks. So in those black notebooks are my ABC stickers, my laser titles, and my sticker titles. And then next to that, I kind of have what I call like a working cubby, where you can, just at the top, you can see the polka dots. And the working cubby is where I have my current projects. And also next to that are my white cardstock and black cardstock, because I reach for that all the time. So underneath those cubbies, now we're going to get into the drawers, and I'm going to kind of share this set of cubbies. So when you, if you are sitting in my chair and you turn around, these cubbies are right behind me. So that's where I keep my custom cutting system. I don't have a lot of wall space. I love those pegboard ideas where you hang all the different pieces together. It looks so cute, but I don't have a lot of wall space. So my my whole entire custom cutting system is in the top drawer of these drawers. And it's nice because I can spin around and just reach for it and grab what I need. So that's these are some of my most used things that I need within reach. Same with my decorative trimmer, my circle cutter, my envelope maker. And then in the next drawer, just some more supplies, my adhesive. You know, I'm always reaching for my refills for my adhesive. And then I have some more less used tools kind of further down as we go. Pick up square, my different punches. And then the bottom drawer is where I keep my heat sealer. Next to those, now we're going to go down all the smaller drawers. I'm going to go back for just a second. So next to the long drawers, I have this set of 3 short, smaller drawers. The top drawer, you guys know I'm always reaching for my little embellishment pockets and for scrap paper. So that's what's in my top drawer here. And I've got my pockets in the back and my scrap paper in the front. And then I absolutely love how the, oops, sorry guys, jumped back too much here. Whoops, let me go back. One more time. There's the heat sealer again. But I love how the art bin long cases, you can see right there, those fit 5 of those long cases, and you can keep all your things organized within these drawers. They have lids. You can either leave the lids on, or like you can see in the front, where I have my shimmer pins, I just leave the lid tucked underneath it so I can just reach in there and grab that when I need it. So these are some of my backstock supplies if I run out of something where I keep those. Okay, and so I have a drawer here of pens and then another drawer of pens and more just decorative supplies. These are my old school tape runners as well as old school adhesive. So I just keep a drawer of those as well. And then some extra uh, different containers and, just extra supplies in the bottom. Okay, it looks like we have another question. So Sandy says, when do I use the washi tape? Yeah, I don't use it often on my scrapbook pages. I use it whenever I'm sending out my products from my shop. And then I use that when I get to my card and stamping station. I'll share, I do have it. I have like a little second love for journals, like little travel journals, and I like to use it in those smaller format projects. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So Lynette says she bought a generic tower and drawer chest from Amazon, but wants to get the IKEA drawers. Yeah. So the ones I'm showing right here, just to confirm, these are from Michaels. So Michaels has drawers that are very similar to IKEA, and I actually kind of, here's the thing. I like the IKEA drawers a little better quality wise than the Michaels, but the Michaels are built for being modular, and the IKEA drawers and the Michaels drawers are not the same. So when let me go back for a second. When you see these long drawers that I just shared right here, let me go back all the way here, right here, guys. Okay. Those are 32 inches wide, which means two 16 by 16 Michaels cubes sit on top of the wide Michaels drawers. So everything, the math is done for you. So that's why I chose to use the Michaels drawers, and they're fine. The quality is fine. Like, they've been holding up, no issues. They just don't glide and, easily go in and out like the IKEA branded furniture does. Just a heads up on that. But everything fits perfectly. So the 16 by 16 fits on top of the two 16s fit on top of the longer drawers, and then one 16 by 16 cube, I'm going to fast forward right here, fits on top of the smaller drawers, which is what I'm sharing right here. Okay, so so then the next drawer, so I have that one that had my different supplies in it. Next to that, I decided to have a whole bank of drawers dedicated to scrapbook pages. So here you're going to see the top drawer is just page protectors. The next drawer, black pages, Spargo pages, white pages, and natural pages. So this is where my open pages for my 12 by 12 true 12 by 12 scrapbook pages, that's where they live. And I do have another place where I keep a lot of my other pages, but I did make one bank of drawers just dedicated to pages. And then the next one over is the third of the smaller drawer units, and this one holds my happy album sized pages and projects in here, and then some other miscellaneous supplies. So I have my my label making tape. You guys know I love my little containers for all the little bits and bobs, and also just some other fun things. Some giant stamps I was obsessed with, and then an empty drawer because I love empty drawers. On the last, so you can kind of see again, there's two cubes sitting on the last wide set of drawers. And these are where I have kind of some of my, they're farther away from where I sit. So I wanted to put the things that I would only get for, say, projects in those drawers. So these drawers have my some more rulers, my Silhouette Studio, my Cricut heat press stuff, you know, just miscellaneous crafting supplies, my foil supplies, and then the bottom two drawers are just for filming and different miscellaneous filming supplies and cords and all that good stuff. Okay. So yeah, all those pages I'm hoping to do someday, Debbie, right? Okay. So those are the drawers and cubbies for the paper. Let's move on and go to my punch wall and drawers. Excuse me. So I'm going to unmute. I see I have to unmute even though I did that beforehand. I have to, every time I play a video, I'm going to have to unmute myself. So on this wall, this is just where I have all of my punches and a lot of my tools, but I also have my old Recollections cubes from Michaels. Excuse me. So those those cubes are 14 by 14 size cubes. So they are much smaller. Right there, you can kind of see them side by side. Let me go here and pause it. So you can see the smaller cubes. These are my old Recollections cubes, are on the right, and on the left are the new Michaels Simply Tidy cubes. So the Simply Tidy are 2 inches square bigger. So 14 versus 16. So you can't use them together. So I decided in my room that I kind of needed a wall that would just house just different miscellaneous things. A lot of these drawers got damaged in the flood I was talking about, so I kind of had to piecemeal different pieces back together for this wall. But I love it for keeping notebooks. Here you can see I have my color bins on top of them, and then my excess punches and my school supplies and some different things in here. So some of these I talked about with my favorite Amazon organizers. And then these handy dandy trays are fridge and freezer bins. And those are perfect for my larger dies. So this wall kind of goes around the corner and goes into my die cutting station. And you can see I need to tidy up my ribbon drawers, but you know, full confession, sometimes things get messy like that. So these have just different other craft supplies as well. Some different tools and punch boards and, you know, just different supplies in all these drawers. Some of my older punches and miscellaneous more punches. You can see I like my punches. Okay. So yeah, there we have, that is the punch and storage wall. Let's move on. Since I did talk about die cutting, we're going to go around the corner and go into the die cutting. And let me unmute myself. I do have a video where I talk more extensively both about my die storage as well as my stamp storage. And my stamp storage has changed just a bit, but all my dies, I'm going to go back for just a second. So this whole wall here is built with 2 IKEA desks and tabletops. So on the left is my die cutting station, and then on the right is my card and stamping station, and then there's an IKEA cubby unit that's in the middle. So on the left is where I have my excess collection of dies. And you know what though? I mean, I've seen some card makers that have more than I do, but I do love my dies. So that is all those clear bins is how I house my dies. And those are with the tabbed dividers that I label in the different sections, and you'll see a close-up of that. And then the vinyl pockets, and they're all on magnet sheets. Okay, so those are the comic book dividers, the white ones that I cut down to size, and I use those in a lot of different places in my craft room. Now, I want to point out in this shot, you can also see I still have my two little Helmer drawer units, again, kind of housing my excess punches. And I'll be going through some of those drawers as well, but I still have two of those drawer units. Okay, so in my die station, I have two drawer units on each side of my desk, and the same with my stamps. So next to my dies, I've got to have my tools. And here's a little tip for you for die cutting. I do a lot of die cutting, guys. As you know, we sell a lot of layered shapes in my shop. And having some wax paper, if you ever have issues with your dies, wax paper is your friend. So just a little tip for die cutting. It can help if you use particular dies a lot, it can help release those bits of paper from your dies. So just a little tip on that. So I keep my wax paper and trimmer, extra trimmers, and some dies that I still need to put away, and just different supplies that I need. I also have my sticker maker in there as well. And we always have to have a little extra storage for our storage. So these are the sheets that I wanted to mention, magnet sheets and my vinyl envelopes. So I always keep a drawer handy so that when I get more dies, I can put those away. And my sandwich boards for my die cutting machine. I do have Geminis, which I absolutely love. That's I have a lot of die cutting machines, and I have gone to the Gemini as it's fabulous. I use it. So both for my shop, I have two Gemini Pro machines for that. And then I have this little Gemini 2 for my own personal use in my craft room. Those are just some extra dies and miscellaneous supplies in my drawers. So here are the different categories. You can see I have my alphabet dies all off to one side on my table. And then I have my collection that are all categorized by type. So squares, rectangles, stamps, tabs. You can see Christmas themes. I also have spring, summer, fall, winter there as well, and some different ones. So Sharita, those are all, if you click the more button in the description, everything is linked according to what section it's in. So you will just, if you click that more button, it'll be in the description. Okay, perfect. So yeah, put the Simply Tidy chest of drawers together. Love it. Karen, good, good, good. I know. Just those little things really do seem to help, don't they? All right, so next to my die cutting station is my IKEA cubby unit, and it's a Kallax unit, and it is a 3x4. Wait a second, is that right? A 3x4? Yeah, it's a 3x4. And what I want to mention about this unit is that, let me go to, this unit is it has, there we go. Okay. This unit, it's a 3, so I have it turned with 3 width and 4 height. And I have some more spinners from Stamp and Storage. So anyone who missed before, to the Border Maker spinners and where I have all my punches on my wall, those are Stampin' Storage units. And I'm going to kind of share some new Stampin' Storage units that I've added to my craft room as well. So not only do I have the spinners in the top, but I also have the next row down under the spinners. I have 2 storage units that are built for IKEA Cubbies, also from Stampin' Storage. And I had those painted white from Stampin' Storage. So those, kind of look like they're made to be built into the Kallax unit. And then I also put a door and some drawers in my Kallax unit. Now this is the one where I was really excited to find that there are different containers that fit in some of the different spaces in the Kallax unit. And those are all linked for my Amazon favorites. So let me keep going. So you can see here in my Stampin' Storage drawers, you can get these with different sized drawers in it. So you can pick if you want wider ones or skinnier ones and kind of how you want to use those. And these are just extra crafting supplies, some dry erase boards and different supplies. Now these I was really excited to find because I have a collection of the long 12-inch Sizzix dies, and to find a bin that was long enough to hold those, I was thrilled. And those are in the wine holder. So you can see that's the 9 cubby wine holder from IKEA. And then those long bins you can see fit right in there. And you can store different things in there. So anything long that you have. These are also other Amazon bins that hold my big dies and some of the longer plates. Like I said, I have a lot of different die cutting machines, so I keep all of those things, and they're all handy next to the die cutting station. On the other side is the other set of drawers from Stampin' Storage, and that is next to my card making station. So you'll see more card and stamping supplies in these drawers. Some blank cards, some inks, and different things. And here's my spinners with, I have some different older punches from Creative Memories and from Stampin' Up! And from EK Success, different ones. In behind my drawer, that's where I keep my scanner and some photo supplies when they're not in use. And these drawers, yep, those are some old school Sizzix dies, which still work great. You just have to get the sandwich right. And this is where, when I was talking about washi tape, I love doing some little journal books, some travel journals, and smaller format projects, and that's what I love using in those. So again, some more card making supplies, anything that will fit in those cubbies I love. And this is again another favorite bin that you can find on Amazon, and my string, my baker's twine, which love all the colors. I found a great supply of those, and those are all linked as well. Okay. Yeah, so Debbie has a good question. Let me just, before we go through, this is again my punch drawer, the Helmer punch drawer for kind of my overflow of punch supplies. You can see some old ones in there. But die cutting machines, yeah, a lot of people are like, well, should I go with punches or should I go with dies? And you know what? I love it all. I love it all. So the manual die cut machines are much less expensive than the electronic, the powered die cut machines. And then the dies, they can get expensive. I've got some of my favorite ones linked on my Amazon page. And then sometimes you'll find they had, there's some great sales. So I know Echo Park, I love some Echo Park dies. And they, sometimes during the year, you can get those on sale. So it just depends, but, Die sets can run anywhere from, $5 on up to 27. Some sets I've paid 27 or more for. So it just depends if you want to kind of go down that road. But good question, Debbie. Yeah. All right, so here's all those extra punches, which are in my little Helmer drawers. I did bring both of those up and found a little spot in my craft room to kind of store some of those other punches. And, guys, some of this I've been collecting for a really, really, really long time. So I have Martha Stewart punches, I have EK Success punches, and a lot of different brands that I've used over the years. Okay, so next to the IKEA cubbies, you've kind of seen what's in there, some of the organizers, and again, all of those are linked in the description by category. And then next to that is my card and stamp station. So let's get into that one. And this is one that I have changed up. I change this area frequently because it's kind of when I want to escape from scrapbooking, this is kind of where I go to play with pens and ink and markers and my little journals and travel journals and, all this. My roller stamps are there. My little fun glitter things are there, all the little things. And this is kind of my, creative stamping space and where I do my cards. So what I did is I used to have all my stamps out on the desk, and I was kind of being overruled by all of my stamps in the bins in front of me. So I decided to get these units from Stamp and Storage. I looked at the measurements, and most of the smaller, the 5x7 size stamps fit in these drawers. And so I still have a little more labeling and, rearranging to do, but those drawers got so many. Let me go back for a little bit. You can kind of see the overview. These drawers got so many of my stamps off my desk. So you can see I bought 2 of those. Let me go back. 2 of those 4-drawer units, and I have them stacked on top of each other. And that's, again, where I've moved a lot of my stamp storage. And I liked kind of putting all of that in drawers. So my desk kind of feels a little lighter, and I have some more space for getting my products out, my supplies. Okay, and then I have some just various Daiso organizers, some older stamp holders, and older Michaels cubes. These are old Recollections cubes that I have all my older pens and different things in. So these are all Daiso and Amazon organizers as well. Okay, so let me kind of fast forward back through. I do have the larger stamps on the cart, and I'll share that in just a minute. So in these drawers, again, are all of my stamping supplies, because this is where I come. So I have my re-inkers and different supplies right there next to me, as well as card making blanks and supplies to, just have fun. Not that I get a whole lot of time to do that, because my scrapbooking keeps me pretty busy. All right. So you can see these are just little bits and bobs for making cards, and some extra card blanks for, I sure need to make more of those. So Clementine was trying to help us push the drawers closed, as you can see there. All right. And on the right-hand side, again, more stamp supplies. This is just definitely dedicated to all that good stuff. On the bottom are some of the CD cases where I keep some extra supplies there too. All right. Ooh, I love it. Scrap art from France. Love it. Thank you. So So glad you're here from all the way across the world. Love it. These again are some of the Daiso organizers that I found just for all those little format goodies for some of the smaller projects. And, you know, I think it's just really fun when you have supplies and then you find a container that works for those supplies. So underneath, on the wall next to me, I do have some binders with some stickers and things in it for my calendar and for my planners. And then underneath that are some drawers with labels and different supplies. Okay, so as I mentioned, not all of the stamps fit in the Stampin' Storage units. And so I had to find a cart that would work for my larger, the 6x8 format acrylic stamps. And so these are the bins from Amazon. Again, the I keep wanting to say baseball, the comic book dividers. You can again cut those to size to go in any size container that you have, and then just label those. And I love this cart. It's a little microwave cart that I found, again, white, so it kind of goes with the aesthetic of my craft room. And this is where I have 3 bins of my larger format dies. And so that's where those are housed in my craft room, as well as some of my card kits. Now, I know I had a question a while back. Lauren, what do you do with all of those thick embellishments that, you know, I don't use those on my scrapbook pages, but they are perfect for card making and different things. So I have a bin with all my little embellishment sleeves in it. And that's whenever those come in a kit, I just pop them out, stick them in here by color, and then leave that with my card making. So that's where I keep all those little extra goodies. Okay. So, all right. Yes. Let's see. Is there a link to the drawers for Stampin' Storage, Donna? I have a link for Stampin' Storage, but I can put that in the comments afterwards, which one I actually ordered, but you can kind of see it's their big drawers. So I want to say those are maybe 5x5, maybe bigger. I'd have to measure. So thank you. Yes, all right. Who got excited about finding containers? I know, Sharita, that's me. I love finding the containers to store all the things. Okay, we have a couple more areas to go through. I want to just touch on the IKEA again, is where I keep my albums and projects, and then also where I have all my extra pages for my scrapbooks. So let me go on to that video. So next to my stamp station, I have a 5x, well, let's see, I have 5x4 Kallax unit. So let me just go back for a second here. And that's where I have all of my albums that are in progress. So I have, let me just go back one more time. I have my theme albums, I have my family albums, I have older albums that I'm working on. And this is also where I store all of my kids' albums and all of their memorabilia. And so those are all underneath these albums in cubbies. So you can see the cubbies fit our photo holders as well. And then right as you go around the corner, underneath the window, I have some older Recollections cubes. And this is where and kind of my favorite way to store all of the older pages for creative memory. So you can see I have my older Premiere pages. I have the white, the Spargo, the black. I have printed the Premiere Pocket, you know, different things like that. And those are the totally Tiffany organizers, paper organizers, and they fit in those little slots just perfectly. So then I can just keep all those loose pages upright. And I do like the vertical organization for those. And this goes through the whole series of all the different types of pages. So I have the side loading pages, the different sizes, page protectors, printed, multi-pocket, multi-sizes, pocket pages, all those different ones, even the 8x8, 7x7, all those different size pages. And then I have extra albums under there that, you know, as albums come and go, you want to grab those favorites. And those are just different albums that I have that I'm kind of hanging on to for projects down the line. On the end, I have two cubbies that are not page or album related. And you can see those are the new Kaido bins with the little wheels on them, which are so perfect. And I keep my photo folders in there, as well as some notebook tabs for my pop planner. And then above that, I have my ABC stickers. I'm going to let this video roll so you can see my ABC stickers, my peekaboo pockets, my labeling kit, and different things. I have some shelves to the left of my window, which I have some 7x7 albums on, 8x8 albums. And my favorite little thing, you know, I always say, don't forget to add into your craft room things that bring you joy. And Audrey made all these little, this little mushroom village. It's adorable when she was in middle school. And that just brings me joy. So does this little girl right here. And she always wants to steal the show too. I want to mention kind of at when I was going through my albums, one of the things I want to mention is I made this decision that I want to tell stories with the people that are meaningful in our lives. And so on my bookshelf, you'll see the story of Joan, the story of Betty, the story of Warren. Those are all albums that my heritage albums. So kind of telling their stories, because a lot of these folks are not with me anymore. So I have to kind of tell it what I know, and it's intertwined with what they've left me, but I need to tell their story. So this is kind of my little project cubbies, which the Creative Memories boxes fit perfectly inside those slots. And I know they're not available anymore, but this is the same for the iris cases, like the large scrapbook cases fit in these cubbies really nicely. So I have these organized into my story projects that I'm working on with people in my family. So that's on the end, you can see that cubby faces out, and then the two other cubbies face the different sides of my island. So one whole end of my island is three. You can see three cubbies long. Then I have in the center of my island, there's cubbies that run all along the center, and then another set of three cubbies on the far end. Okay. Does this room not include my shop items, Beatrice? So my shop items, meaning my layering shapes and all those goodies, I have those right next to me. I showed them earlier in my workspace. And then my sentiment stickers I keep on my cart. And so I'm going to do that next. And there's always a dear place in my heart for carts in my craft room. And they kind of move around too as I need them. They are I also have a workroom for my shop. And so sometimes, like right now, my Cricut is in the workroom because the girls are working on cutting flop stoppers. So I had to move that cart over there. And so different things. So as I need the carts, they may come and go into my room. I did share a few already where I have the cart tucked under my workspace for my card making and stamp supplies. But my favorite, let me go back again. One of my absolute favorite carts is this little one from Michael's, and I hang everything on this thing that I possibly can, and it's right next to me. So you can see I have my corner rounder, my pickup square, Post-it tape, I mean, you name it, my chapstick, my lipstick, everything. Pencil sharpener is kind of just in that little side compartment. And you know, if I need something, I love just being able to reach in there and grab it. On the end, I keep my two little cups with all my adhesive, and then on the top are my 5x7 storage containers from Creative Memories with all my most used products right there. And then on the side, I have photo tape and foam tape, and then all my tools, my powder holder tool, my scissors, my pickup stick, my pokey tools, everything are just right there. I also have my cardstock swatch on a ring there. On the side, that's where I keep my sentiment stickers and some more cases, my old punches, my templates, and then on the bottom, some of those, of course, like my undo and my different things like that. My punch, hole punch, wherever, you know, it needs to, whatever little thing needs to find a place, that it usually finds a place on my cart. Right? Okay. And then the next cart is something I just want to mention. This is not necessarily, okay, where are my Longaberger fans? This is not a cart that I can link to, but I have found a new love for the Hostess file basket from long ago. And this has been floating around my house in different areas for different uses. And I recently brought it into my craft room because I was noticing I needed a place to put all of my in process projects. And I absolutely love this cart for that. And it's big enough. It was a file basket. It was meant to be a file basket. And our page, everything fits in here. You can see I even have the new paper holder is in there. But this is where if I'm creating a layout, I'm going to create a layout, I'm working on something, all of those go in the baby bear, papa bear, mama bear sleeves, and those go in this basket to kind of just be worked on when they need to get worked on. So I love this. And then underneath is where I keep my 2 pen pods and then just some more adhesive for die cutting and different things. So my point by sharing this cart, even though you may or may not have one, is it's also really good to have a place for your in-process projects, a dedicated place. So because I do a lot of filming and live streaming, I love the fact that I can just roll this right up next to me and be able to reach in that big basket and grab what I need. So just some food for thought there. And then, of course, you know, fill your room with other little bundles of joy that help you, you know, kind of enjoy your crafting time. And this is one of mine. You know, she was just so cute. I had to zoom in there. She was just snoozing away. All right. So that is the conclusion. That was a lot to share with you, but I hope that gave you some ideas of all the different places here in my craft room. And yeah, so and and tiger berry berry. I love it. Have a smaller cart and some of the smaller containers. Yeah, carts can do a lot of dual purpose if you get the things that hang all over on the side of those. So yeah. And Cindy uses hers in her scrap room. See, I know. So if you haven't gotten your Longaberger basket out in a while, this is my newfound absolute love for that basket and cart. So, you know, there's other options I'm sure you could figure out, but just to have a dedicated place. Also, I just want to scooch out of the way here. This is also that other cubby where I was talking about. I have my sort and stash binders here in one of the cubbies. The nice thing is, because these are 16 by 16, the sort and stash will fit in the Simply Tidy cubes from Michaels just perfectly. And then next to it, this is another place where you can keep current projects. So if you don't have a cart, you know, just get a couple of these pods, the smaller pods, and that's another wonderful place for current projects, just to keep them handy. Okay, so there you have it. That is my updated craft room tour for 2024. I am probably going to do a less talky question and Q&A video, but I thought today, since it was our Tuesday live stream, it would be good to just share different places and let you ask questions. So I don't know if I hope I got some more, I got all of your questions answered. So hopefully, I think I was checking those. Oh, Debbie has my sentiment stickers. The pet sentiment stickers. Yes. Debbie, I know. I saw your comment. I'm working on finishing up the pet and the summer sentiments, hopefully by this weekend, by Friday night. I want to talk about them on Friday night and kind of give you a little update since Friday is Friday night scrapbooking. So yeah, and then, you know, we've got to have the perfect little spot to put them in, which, as you can see, I keep them right next to me in my cart. So yes, hopefully very soon I'll have the summer, the pet, and then we're going to also talk about the documented stickers and how to use those. So Friday is my goal. All right. Yes, the sentiment stickers. Yeah, I love them. So we'll be using these on Friday night to do some scrapping with. Okay. Did I catch any other... take us to Daiso. Linda wants to go to Daiso. Love it. I know, Linda. I wish I could just stock Daiso 100% in my room, but if you could just see my shop, I'm hopefully going to have some updates about my shop soon. We've been doing some behind the scene work, and I may give you an update about that on what's happening. Fingers crossed. So I might have a little more room soon. So we will see. Okay. All right, friends. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, your comments and your appreciation by that little thumbs up really does help my channel and give you my ability to bring you more content here on YouTube. And for those of you who got dropped off on Facebook, hopefully you found this over here and could finish out the tour with me. So I appreciate all of you for joining in this wonderful Tuesday. And if you have any questions that come up, if you're watching the replay, just leave those in the comments and I will be checking this video and hopefully can answer those as much as I can. And all of the supplies and different things that I've talked about are in the description of the video. So just go ahead and check that out. And hopefully I've got all the links that you need. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And as always, I hope you take time to craft some joy. See you soon. Bye for now.